Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are here to talk about how to play French in Valor and Fortitude. As we did last week for the British, we skip through the French army sheet, which going from 1805 to 1815, so cover practically the entire Napoleon golden era till the decline. Just the first year is out of this shit, but is easily replaceable and recovered with some degree of research in how does it work, demi-brigade. But it's not the topic of today. Today we're going to look at across the old, middle, young and guard marines and the guard choices. All of them are a very good unit. Obviously, the grenadier and the chasseur of the old guard is comparable to the foot guard for the British, 6 in melee, 6 in tenacity. They have the special ability Elan, and almost all the unit apart Marie-Louis and National Guard have Elan. Elan means that a unit in column of attack reroll the missed one. The rest of the rule are identical to every other one. Then the guard marine, the sailor of the guard, are the light infantry of the guard. It's possible to make a guard brigade or add some unit to detach it to other brigade. Your choice. Grenadier is a little bit redundant choices, but they are a good melee unit if you not field guard. Grenadier practically means a combination battalion of grenadier detached from the various company and put together in a single battalion of grenadier indeed. Line infantry and line and light infantry, the Leger and the Fusilier, same stats all across the board as for the British, nothing special here. Marie-Louis are the youngest conscripts in the last period of the Napoleon era. They have skirmishers and square. They have not land. This represent the lack of training and are a good choice if you want to use troops with lack of training for peninsular or particular campaign. You simply pick up the Marie-Louis. National Guard are the militia, so the very last choices in this list are just good for some particular scenario. Infantry detachment are usual, then cavalry, you have hussars and chasseurs, statistics, carbines, so light cavalry essentially, as for the dragoon, the lancers, no special rule for the lance. Then we move to dragoon, the first heavy cavalry. Practically they have a stats similar to a light cavalry, but due to the being heavy cavalry they roll the missed one when they charge on. And then cuirassier and carabinier have the same stats. Then cavalry detachment, very useful, and field heavy and horse artillery as usual. Special rules for the French, or more than Elan, are the Napoleon and his marshal. The selection of marshal of the empire are a very good option for the French. Napoleon is an incredibly strong unit. He allows you to use your artillery without forced to take the closest target. So it's a use of the artillery really good in the game, because you can soft your opponent with impunity. Then we have Ney and Marshal Murat. Both are good, but not good as Napoleon. Murat allow you to draw 2 fate cards in the first round of the game. Ney are good in attack, because they allow you to reroll the misses in melee, but it must be within 3 of this leader. And all of them have Marshal of the Empire, which is a very, very good rule, especially if you play on a large table, because extend the automatic activation, the influence of your officer from 24 inches to 36 inches. And that's practically everything for the special rules for French. We have the 3 special cards we are look in a moment. French card selection are a little bit weird in my opinion. The king is Vive l'Empereur, and this is very situational card. It's a powerful one, but it's situational because allow an entire brigade to move 6 inches more. So not always useful indeed. It's very useful at the beginning of the game if you have a brigade on reserve and you want to move in quickly into the fray, but as I say, good but situational. The best French card certainly is the Queen, Attack of Outrance. You select a brigade and every unit in that brigade add 1 attack dice for their melee if they are in attack column, and more than always your unit are in attack column. You will see in a few minutes, but attack column is the perfect formation for the French if they are attacking and even in defense. And finally, the Jack is not bad, but again situational. Les Grognards, this promote one of your unit on the field which has taken a casualty to become an elite, +1 in melee, +1 in tenacity. They became the Napoleon's Grognard, the veteran of his army. It's good. You can recover free 1 unit to be withered because they passed to the next step of tenacity, and so the withered status is gone. But it's better on a unit not so beaten, because with just 1 casualty left to being withered probably is not enough to become really effective. And that's the 3 cards. The rest of the cards are as usual the same: capture, surprise attack, inspiration, direct fire, deadly attack, stubborn breakthrough, confusion, and tide of battle, and all out attack are the same. A word about the card: when you draw a card that is not so useful, this came in handy with the French to get inspiration. Discard the card and activate a unit to move or charge, or even rally or retreat. Anyway, can be a decisive action, maybe because you have planned an attack and you fail your brigade activation, and often French are in attack more than the British for sure. So keep an eye on card which maybe in the mission is not so important, such as capture or direct fire, if you are not playing with objective, or if you have a few artillery on the field. And now moving on some tactics for the French attack. Here I deploy 1 typical brigade of French. I deploy everything. Maybe you can have less unit. This is the final stage of the French in attack. I start talking about attack because French, as I just said, is more than often in attack rather than in defense, and all their ability and advantage are if they are in attack. This formation is pretty historical. Set aside the leger in front, but this formation, which one unit in line and two attack column on both sides, are historical for the French, and is good also in the game. When you are in charge range of your enemy, it's not bad to deploy one of your battalion, the central one in line, and start shooting to get some casualty in your target, and then move in for the attack. Usually I put the veteran on one of the side, if you have obviously a veteran unit in your brigade, but it's not a bad idea, because a regular infantry brigade lack a bit of punch. So if you save some point, upgrading one of your unit to elite melee or even elite melee and tenacity could be a good idea to have a better punch when you enter into melee, because you are good when you target your enemy in attack column, but you have less dice than the opponent. If you have seen the British, how to play the British, you have seen that British in line easily get 5 or 6 dice, and the French have 4 or maybe more, but anyway less than the Brits. So if you want to maximize your opportunity, be sure to have one unit of veteran, at least one unit of veteran in a brigade. In front of you, you need a detachment or your leger. I'm testing just in this day some theory about to use the leger and the light battalion for the British in-game, more historical, more realistic, but I will make a video later on when the test is complete. Anyway, French deploy skirmisher in front of their main advance to put AWACS into the enemy line, and they were this tactic were copycat from the British in Peninsula, so it's not so unhistorical to have a leger in front of your brigade. The only thing is that if it is part of the brigade, they get benefits from their officer and support from their partner unit. If you want to skip the possibility to have a leger mixed with the regular line infantry, I know that often they fought in packed together in a brigade, you can use a detachment of voltigeur. It's the same, is more fragile, but do its job in a good way. And the job is for the French to reach the enemy quickly. So let me deploy a brigade as it was the first turn of the game. Here we are. Skip the artillery, it's not here at the moment. Just for the infantry. 3 column of attack, 2 column of attack if you play few points, 4 column of attack if you play larger brigade, but 3 line infantry and a leger, or 4 line infantry and a couple of voltigeur detachment, just a single one could be enough, is the way that you have to deploy your French to maximize the effect. Because one of the main advantage for the French is that in attack column they are quicker than their enemy if they are fighting British, and against other nation they have a bonus in attack column that the other have not. They have elan, where the Austrian or the Russian have not. Okay, so stay in attack column most of the time is not a bad idea for the French. Move quickly, 12 inches in attack column, and 12 inches is the movement for a légère in open order or your detachment of voltigeur. And then the situation, the situation of the game will dictate your next move. When you are within charge distance, so within 12 inches from your enemy, many things depends on the status of your opponent, its deployment, its number. I'll back in a moment to show you what I mean. See, this is one of the worst situations that a French player can face, okay? So I start with this. You can see a brigade of British infantry perfectly lined up to absorb the first round of volley and then return a devastating fire against the French. In this situation, the French player, as a French player, I cannot start a firefight with the counterpart because I'm going to lose it. Brits shoot too many dice to make my attack really stop the attack really bad. So in this situation, the best that you can do as a French, for me, in my opinion, is to get 1-2 turn of fire, hoping maybe in some good card, but French have not special card for that pump their fire where the British have. So the much you wait, the much probability that the British will force you to test just for fire and ruin your plane of attack. So use your voltigeur to flank, to get away at least the artillery, or one battalion to be the closest target to one battalion, and this force the Brits to shoot at him or just add one single die to landing support. The situation is the same here. In that situation, this detachment will divert the fire from this unit to them, or force the British player to just use one die in landing support to another one. And this is the good way to use your detachment. Your voltigeur in front will probably be mauled by the British fire, but the open order is important to reduce the casualty. Keep in mind that a line of British infantry charge 8 inches. You charge 12 inches, 4 inches more. So stay more than 8 inches away from the Brits, but in range of your musket. So to avoid to be in charge and beaten hard by a line of British angry soldier. Then, as I say, the best that you can do here is taking one volley, maybe two on your target, no more than two in my opinion, if you want to have some good choices. They shoot 4 dice, and with the support in the first round you can put up some casualty. Remember this fundamental thing: French in Valor and Fortitude are not the French in Black Powder. They have not an armor save, and so they cannot withstand a severe punishment from the British line. You must to act quickly. So your plan must choose your target wisely. And in this situation you have one unit of Gordon Highlander, which are veteran, and they put some serious counter-strike if you target the first rifle. Here you have 2 regular line infantry, so it really depends on the situation, so it's not all coverable in a single video. Depend on the casualty taken maybe earlier in during the shooting from artillery from the distance, and things like this. But try to force him to react to you. If you charge this unit here, it's not possible for the Brits to countercharge with the Gordon Highlander if you break the line. Just a single unit of a regular soldier, which is not so different, but one die, maybe two, could be the difference between winning and lose. So in this situation, what I will do, I shoot with this one, with the support of this one, so 4 dice plus 1 for the column of attack in support, directed to the real target of my attack. 2 dice from the artillery plus 1 into the front unit of riflemen, and this one will try to silence the artillery. Okay, so now we roll some dice just for fun and to show you which situation could be present during the game. Now I'm going to roll this 4 dice against the British line in front there. I hit twice, no reroll in this case, so 2 casualty going here, and then 3 dice for the attack into the other line infantry, and this time I miss all the time, and 2 dice into the artillery, both hit, and this is important because this means that the artillery is weavered. Not expect this any time, but and this is a good situation for my thought about this. This is the first round. They are weavered, they are unsketched, and they take 2 casualty. Now it's the British turn, and they obviously return fire to you. In this case, the closest target are the Legers, so the British can release 3 attack here plus 1 here, or can do the same trick and put 3 attack plus 1 from the artillery in support, and left this unit to make 3 attack into the column of attack, which is the dangerous one. Okay, so roll some dice. They take the best way in this is one to put some casualty into the column of attack to reduce their efficiency. Roll 4 dice into the Leger. They hit 4 times, so they put 2 casualty into the Leger, and then 3 into the column of attack. They put 2 casualty back into the column of attack. You have seen how the British do their job. They put two wounds here and 2 casualty here, and it's not the best situation to charge, I have to admit it, but you have a few options, because another firing turn could be more dangerous and ruin your attack. So now it's time to force the hand, and what we can do is this. We plan to charge with our veteran into the British line. Okay, so try to sew them up a little bit more. This unit will fire with its voltigeur, with its skirmish, because they need to move away. Okay, this unit, and this unit will not charge, because they have no casualty at all, or take its chance only if this round of fire will go very, very well. We take 2 dice from the artillery here that can be put into this one, and 2 more dice here into the enemy artillery. Okay, and we'll take the chance. Is to take a chance. 2 against the artillery, 1 more hit and a test, and the artillery is gone. And this is good. It is a really good result. It's not hope that always happen. The artillery into the line, completely miss, so okay, this unit here will not charge. One more shot into the line down there, hoping to get at least another casualty. Yay, we put another casualty onto the Brits. Okay, now activation. The Brits have to test for the artillery, but we are more than 6 inches away, so no more casualty will be put. So this column of attack will charge straight forward into the British line in front of them. The Leger will move away, and move away we mean back. Retreat with its activation after shooting with the skirmisher. Okay. Sorry, but I remember now that this is a Leger, so it halves its shooting when it shoots in open order. So one more die, just for fun. Okay, it's fun, but it's important, because in this moment they get another casualty, and these make all the difference of the world, because they are weavered and they are not. Okay, back, they move here. The line change formation into column and move here. So have you seen, the line is not used at all, and this column of attack is moving in front of the British to stop their counter-charge possibility to get in any case the flank or the unit. Is not this the case, but you never know what a card can do. An outmaneuvering card, a surprise attack, can do this. So now this is the serious stuff, because we have a unit that take 5 attack because he is a veteran, plus 1 for the support. It is in both have a LAN, so they can reroll the 1. The British have 4 dice, 5 because they're in line, 6 because they have the support, so the odds are the same, but the British are weird, so they hit only on a 5. Rerolling 1 for the French, rerolling 1 for the Brit. So 1, 2, 3, 4 casualty more, and just 1 for the British. So your unit is not yet weird, but the British have to take 4 tests, and these break, just barely break their morale. They are gone. And essentially this is the way that you have to attack with French. And the same, you can make the same without the French Leger, using a detachment of voltage, but in this case I suggest maybe 2 voltage detachment rather than 1, because you need to avoid that your attacking column will be hardly beaten by the enemy returning fire. 2 words about playing defensively. French are not so good at playing defensively, but are not completely incompetent. Simply they have not special rule to do this, so they will work like any other army except British, which are extremely good in this. And this is my suggested formation if you had to defend an objective. Your Leger in front, again, if you have not the Leger, a voltigeur, artillery on a flank, one of the flank, or in the middle if you have space, 1 unit at least in line, and 2 units for counter strike and counter maneuver the incoming enemy, because you are good at this. Where the British need to transform an offensive battle in a defensive one, French need to attack where they, even if they are in defense. So when some softening fire is put into the incoming enemy, try to finish them off with your counter-strike unit. Always have counter-strike unit ready to punch your enemy back if they try to force you away from a spot. And you need to be very careful in moving, counter moving, alternate your battalion to try to rally the beaten one and make them useful again. Maybe a good idea is to deploy some, maybe about 5 to 10 inches further than the intended defense objective, because maybe you need to give terrain retreating at peace, alternating battalion to rest the beaten one and put another into line to face the incoming enemy, and so on. And that's it for the defense. And for the cavalry, even that I do not take the model on the table, cavalry is very useful, and you have to use it as the British, essentially. Cavalry recover the same role. Probably I will do a video about cavalry in general. For the French, use your light cavalry to solve them up and treat light objective, and heavy cavalry as counter-strike against enemy cavalry, or to threat an enemy and force him into square. And obviously, if the enemy is poor in cavalry and have less than you can try to outmaneuver and get a flank, or scout in and push faster pressure into their line to obtain time for your infantry to come. One of the use that usually I have for my cavalry is to act counter-strike against the enemy cavalry. French are always, or almost always, on attack, so they need to move. If they are forced into square, they are going to lose the battle. So rather than use all your cavalry into a massive wave of attack, try to save your 1 or 2 squadron of cavalry to flank your attack or interpenetrate your battalion to take on into the enemy cavalry. Don't be afraid to lose your cavalry if you put another casualty into their counterpart, that turn of fire from your infantry, or even a charge from your infantry can break the enemy. You will need a field free of cavalry that can force you into a square. You have no special rules apart a square to face off a cavalry attack. So if a light cavalry is a chance that you can maybe try to take, an heavy cavalry, especially a British one, will trump over your battalion, and probably 2, because they are forced to break through. So don't be afraid to go into square. You're forced, and await the reserves with your horses that come to the rescue. It's the real moment when they say finally the cavalry has come. So that's it for the French. I hope that you enjoyed the video and result in some measure useful, especially for who is not used to this game, which is really different from Black Powder and other games where the casualty mounting on really high speed, and you cannot count on any kind of armor save to prolong the life of your troop on the field. So that's it. Thank you for watching. See you soon as possible, and for the moment, bye bye.